Mark Meadows pleading not guilty to charges of conspiring to overturn the 2020 election results in Georgia. Donald Trump's former chief of staff also waiving his right for an in-person arraignment originally set for tomorrow. It comes as John Eastman pleaded not guilty. He's the attorney alleged to have devised the whole legal strategy behind Trump's attempts to overturn the election. 18 of the 19 defendants in the case have now entered pleas. Fulton County officials still waiting on former county election supervisor Misty Hampton. ABC News investigative reporter Olivia Rubin joining me now. So, Olivia, a number of developments today. Why don't we start with Mark Meadows pleading not guilty?
Yeah, Kira, a number of filings hitting the docket this morning from over the weekend. And like you said, the big one is Mark Meadows entering that not guilty plea along with a number of other defendants. And really what that means is that they no longer have to go back down to Georgia yet again to appear before the judge and enter their plea, kind of handling that in some paperwork. But Kira, I would say that the big ruling that we're still waiting for, the big filing we're waiting for as it relates to Mark Meadows, is from that federal judge who still has not yet ruled on Meadows' request to move his case to federal court. Remember, that's why we saw Meadows in court last week. He testified for hours, essentially saying everything I did here, which I now plead not guilty to, was part of my official work as the chief of staff to former President Donald Trump, and therefore this should go to federal court. Of course, Fulton County DA Fani Willis has opposed that. So that is the big ruling that we're waiting for as it relates to Mark Meadows. This sort of a procedural, not guilty. We knew it was coming, but that is what we're still waiting for today.
And Trump's former attorney John Eastman pleading not guilty. Was that a surprise?
I don't think really any of the not guilty pleas here were a surprise here, Kira. I think what we have seen publicly from multiple of the defendants already since this indictment hit was that they are defiant. They are still claiming that essentially everything they did was legal. John Eastman even has, his attorney has spoken publicly saying what he did was legal. So not a surprise, because we really publicly, Kira, have seen almost every single defendant say what they did was legal. We saw it from Rudy Giuliani when he spoke outside of the Fulton County Jail. So really these pleas, and like you said, now we have 18 out of 19, fall in line with what we're hearing from the defendants publicly in their court filings, is that what they did here was legal, and that this overarching conspiracy that the Fulton County DA has pulled together was not illegal.
So Fulton County officials still waiting on the last defendant, Misty Hampton. What's going on there? What do we know?
Misty Hampton, Kira, essentially the last one who has not entered a plea into this case, and really could be the only one that we see standing up before the judge tomorrow for this arraignment. Remember, the judge in the case had set tomorrow as the day for every single defendant to come in 15-minute intervals and plead not guilty or guilty to the charges against them, but to enter in their plea. And so now Misty Hampton is really the only one that we haven't seen this from. So it's possible that we could see her in court tomorrow if we don't get a filing from her at some point in the docket today. And, I can tell you just before coming on with you, I checked Misty Hampton's docket, and still no guilty plea, and honestly very little court activity from her whatsoever. So tomorrow we could have our one and only of the 19 defendants standing up in a Fulton County courtroom yet again.
So then, big picture, where does the case stand right now, and what should we be looking to next?
Well, big picture, Kira, I think is what, is really fascinating about this case. Already in just a few weeks since this indictment has been filed, we have seen motions from a number of the defendants, quite frankly, heading all out in different directions. It really seems like the defendants are sort of painting their own legal strategy and going about it as they please on their own. We have multiple defendants who are trying to move this case to federal court. We have multiple defendants who are trying to sever their case from any other defendant and essentially be tried on their own. And, Kira, we have multiple defendants who have asked for a speedy trial, meaning that they are ready to go to trial right now, and one of them even has a trial date. So big picture, we have defendants that are doing things all over the map, and quite frankly, a lot of it conflicts with each other. So what we will be looking to see is some sort of first hearing from the judge and really getting an indication on how the judge is going to handle this, because a ruling on any one of these defendants, any one motion to go to federal court or to sever the case could be indicative and really change up how this case is going to move forward and how it's going to be tried. So really significant potential rulings from the judge coming up on a slew of motions.
All right, we'll track it all with you, Olivia Rubin. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Kara.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.